Hello everybody, good evening. Welcome to JAIIB English Medium channel. I hope all of you are doing fine. Today in this particular session, we will be talking about the high yielding topics of your module A in Indian economy and Indian financial system. Now as you know that the exam is scheduled on 3rd of May. Now it becomes very important for us to know that whether there are certain topics where we can focus more as compared to the remaining ones. Then this particular video will tell you about the module A for IE and IFS. Indian Economic Architecture is the name of your module A. Let's start with the unit number first, high yielding topic. So we have overview of Indian economy discussed as unit number 1, where you will be finding the 3 most important topics in the form of Angus Madison database. Fine. The first one being your Angus Madison database. Then we have the GDP rankings. When we say that GDP rankings, we just want to convey that all those important GDP rankings, be it published by the RBI, the World Bank, IMF, or for that matter Government of India. Next we have the classification based on the World Bank's classification for the various countries depending upon the per capita income. That is also very important. So 3 important topics for unit number 1. Next we have the most important topics for unit number 2, which talks about sectors of Indian economy. Now you can define the sectors based on economic activity, based on organization, or for that matter government or private. So 3 major types of you can say classification are there, but when we talk about our discussion, it will be restricted towards the economic activity. So primary, secondary, tertiary, the major 3 sectors of an economy, and the extension of your tertiary sector, that is quaternary and quinary. Very important topics. When we say the sunrise sector, yes, that is also very important. Every year you will find one question on sunrise sector in the IIBF examination. Next, apart from this, you must remember the important primary sector revolutions, whether it is green, white, yellow fiber, golden fiber revolution, blue, brown revolution. All these types of primary revolutions are very important. Next comes the unit number 3rd, which talks about economic planning and Niti Aayog. Now here I would like to highlight that economic planning, when we talk about the planning history of our country, the 12 5-year plans, IIBF is not asking much questions from that topic, but it is very important to note that the potential of asking the questions from this topic is really high. So do not ignore all those 12 5-year plans. What was the important you can say observation, what was the important highlight of those points, and when we talk about the 5-year plans, what was the intent of the government for bringing those 5-year plans. Last important topic, or for that matter the second part of your unit number 3rd, talks about Niti Aayog. So economic planning in India, now it is governed by the Niti Aayog. So what is the composition of Niti Aayog? Who is the head of your Niti Aayog? What do we have as the major initiatives taken by the Niti Aayog? All such questions can be asked from unit number 3rd. Plus the last important topic would be your financial resources. How the country is planning, that everybody knows, but from where the resources are being obtained by our government, that talks about the financial resources. So we have the domestic budget resources as the first and the foremost important you can say source. Second important source will be the deficit financing. The third one, your foreign borrowings, or for that matter external borrowings. So these 3 important topics you should not ignore while studying unit number 3rd. Next comes the unit 4th, where we have 2. Again, the chapter is divided into 2 major sections. One talks about the priority sector lending guidelines. Second one talks about the MSME. So for MSME as well as PSL, you can expect 2 to 3 questions in each shift. So when you talk about the PSL norms of RBI, the updated ones, you must know whatever updates RBI has issued till December 2025. Next comes the MSME. What is the classification? How we classify various enterprises as medium, small, or micro enterprise. When you talk about the initiatives, the government initiatives, be it Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, Startup, all these are very important when we are discussing the MSME sector. Next comes unit number 5, again a very important unit for our examination, where you will find the discussion around infrastructure, whether it is the physical infrastructure or for that matter social infrastructure, the government initiatives pertaining to the railway network, roadways network, or for that matter health, education, family welfare. They are very, very important. So yes, start from the government initiatives. That is the message from our side. Next we talk about unit number 6 and 7 parallelly. Why? Because in unit number 6 you will find the discussion of globalization, and the definitions are very important. What do we mean by globalization? What is the definition of deglobalization? How the protectionist measures are being taken, or for that matter what is the definition of protectionism? All the three important definitions are regularly being asked in the examination. Then we have unit 7th, which talks about the economic reforms, and in economic reforms you will find one important discussion of your liberalization, privatization and globalization. How our country has gone through various challenges, and ultimately we went across various sectors to bring the LPG reforms, or for that matter economic reforms. So very important discussion for your economic reforms chapter. Along with that, the committees which are discussed in unit number 7, be it the Narsimham committee, or for that matter we have the Verma committee on weak banks, all these are also important. So name of the committee, the recommendation, as well as the name of the chairperson. Next comes unit number 8, which talks about the trade policy of our nation, where you will be discussing about the foreign trade policy 2015-20, which is mentioned in the book. But for our examination, the FTP 2023 is also equally important. Apart from that, what do we mean by FDI? What are the types of FDI which are involved in the global scenario, and the FDI limits for our country? Everything is very important. Next important unit is your unit number 9th, which talks about the global entities. Now global entities, mostly people think that we will be talking about IMF, World Bank and WTO. Yes, these three are very important, but apart from that we also have regional economic cooperations in the form of BRICS, ASEAN. Then we have various summits, G20 is there, fine. So all these also are being asked in the examination. In November exam, direct question was there from BRICS. And when we say the unit number 9th is being governed by certain repeated topics, for example your special drawing rights, which are directly mentioned in the discussion of IMF. Then we have direct questions from the 5 entities of World Bank group, and what is the dispute settlement mechanism in World Trade Organization. These are the repeated topics when we say that what are the important ones in unit number 9th. Now come the unit number 10th, where you will be having elaborate discussion of sustainable development goals, how India has given its nationally determined contribution, fine, what all commitments it has made in the UN, plus along with that all the 17 SDGs verbatim, the name of those SDGs you must remember. IIBF keeps on asking that also. Last but not the least, I would say unit number 10th has one important topic of CSR, corporate social responsibility, from where you can expect a question based on case studies. So how you should approach CSR, what do we mean by CSR, the definition of it, where it is mentioned Companies Act, but which section, which all companies are being governed by the obligation of CSR, whether it is a civil wrong or it is termed as a criminal offense if the obligations are not met, and what about the penalty. All these 3-4 topics are very important in the CSR. Last is the last unit, unit number 11th, the issues faced by Indian economy. Here also, like in unit 1 I have mentioned, the same thing applies to this particular unit also. You must focus only on the data points. So the data for various you can from various agencies, like World Bank data on poverty, find the BPL data. Then we have World Inequality Report, so inequality related data from there. and PLFS publishes the employment level data also. That is also very, very important. So all the datas which are there in the topics which are mentioned in unit number 11th, they automatically become important. Okay, so this was it for today's session. I hope that now you are in a position to start your preparation while focusing on these high yielding topics of module A. If you have any queries, you can directly leave your queries in the comment section. And if you want to enroll in any of our classes, the paid classes, you can directly call on this number, that is 0981 981 9247. And for maximum discounts, do not forget to apply the discount code, that is Y1003. Okay, so this was it for today's class. See you guys in the next session. Till then, goodbye everybody.